It's not really enjoyable to make music now. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of practice. You need to get really good at an instrument or really good at a piece of production software. I think the majority of people don't enjoy the majority of the time they spend making music.
Okay, I think we need to talk about this. Hi everyone, my name is Leo and I think I'm quite in the perfect position to talk about AI and music creation. In fact, I am a musician and over the years I have composed and recorded thousands of songs. And I'm also graduated in computer science, also being a sort of AI enthusiast. Now, the CIO of Suno, Mikey Shulman, believes that we, as musicians, do not enjoy the music creation process. And we need a prompt-based experience to cut all the corners and be able to create music in seconds. I have created thousands of songs in the traditional way, and I have also experienced audio to create a song. And I want to share here what I think about the two processes. Let's start from the traditional way. Typically, I have an idea in mind, whether it is a melody, for instance, that comes to my mind while I'm doing something else, or an idea that comes out when I'm practicing guitar. So I start recording it, and when I have a cool melody or harmony, I can't wait to record the song. When I start recording my music, I literally enter into a different world. I can start, for instance, at 6 a.m. in the morning, going on until late in the evening, without eating, without ever leaving my room, this room. I'm so involved in the process. I think I'm entering in this state of flow where ideas follow ideas. When you are in harmony with the world around you, you can't stop doing what you are doing, and you don't feel fatigue, stress. All your real life problems vanish. You are just deeply into what you are doing. And then, once the song is finished, you start listening it. And if you did a good job, a profound sense of joy, proud, and accomplishment kind of totally fill your heart and your soul. Sometimes I get goosebumps from emotion. I can't wait to share my music with our community. And sometimes it happens that the emotion behind a song reach some of you, and you wrote me a message of appreciation of my music. This is the biggest reward a musician can receive back. This is the fruit of many years past studying music, practicing my guitar, learning scales, modes, trying to master the magic of music creation, and the privilege that we have as artists to translate our emotions into sounds and to share our own emotions with all the human beings through this magical art called music. On the other hand, let me tell you my experience creating music with audio. I wrote a prompt, an uplifting rock song based on guitar with a grunge vocal. Then audio created several tracks. I then selected the one I prefer, and I actually re-recorded everything just using the vocal track created by audio. At the end, the song was pretty good, but do you know how I felt? Empty. Empty is the only word that comes to my mind. I literally finally end up asking myself, what's the point? I mean, music and lyrics creation is not a mechanical process, but it's a way for me to express an emotion. What's the point if in order to express what I feel, my sentiments, etc., I use an AI song created with a text prompt? This music is simply not mine. It is a neural network copying others' music. And so, what's the point for me to create music if this music is not the result of my personal experiences, of what I feel in that moment, of my passions, my struggles in life, my happy moments, my sad moments, etc. Actually, after having finished the Yudio song, I felt also kind of a thief. I mean, the vocal part was clearly copied from Eddie Weber, and maybe he doesn't know. He has never provided Yudio the permission to use his voice and his songs. At the end, I told myself, this is not what art is meant to be. I was so frustrated. Don't get me wrong, I love tools that simplify my recording experience or that enhance my creativity. And I also use AI tools like Synthesizer V, that is a virtual instrument dedicated to human voice. But these tools help me to achieve my goals. Synthesizer V plays the notes and lyrics that I wrote. These tools are not replacing me as musician or as music in the music creation process. And I want here also to make a little example of what I mean. Let's take Reinhold Messner. In the 80s, he solo ascended Mount Everest without supplemental oxygen. He is also considered as the first climber to ascend all 14 mountains over 8,000 meters without supplemental oxygen. These were all great achievements, and I can't imagine the amount of practicing, struggles, failures, and successes Reinhold went through to achieve these goals. And I, as human being, celebrate his successes. And this sets the bar for what we can do. I remember that I was around 8, my father and I went to listen to him talking about his adventures. I was profoundly impressed and admired. I think it was one of the first time I actually understood the passion, intense training you have to spend in your life to become master in whatever art or sport. Okay, and now let's imagine that Messner didn't ascend the mountains as he did, but he simply took an helicopter to reach the peaks. He then shot some selfie and then returned home still with an helicopter, cutting all the corners, basically reaching the same results as he has actually reached the peak of the mountains. But is this the same thing? Mike Shulman, as CEO, please tell me, is this the same? Climbing a mountain solo without oxygen is the same as taking an helicopter to reach the peak?